Munger's secret to getting rich without networking. Have you ever felt like you're not getting ahead because you don't know the right people? We're constantly told that networking is the key to success. We attend countless events, hand out business cards, and spend our time and energy trying to build a superficial web of connections. We believe that if we just meet the right person, they will open the door to our dreams. The truth is, most of the advice you get from so-called networking gurus is a lie. They tell you to talk to everyone, to be visible, to follow every new connection, but they never tell you the most important part of the equation. This is the simple but profound secret of Charlie Munger. He became one of the most respected figures in business without ever really networking in the traditional sense. He understood a fundamental psychological truth, that the path to success isn't about who you know, but about who you are. You see, the poor and the middle class are constantly being sold the same lie, that the path to success is through social connections. They are told to spend their time attending events, chasing influencers, and building a wide but shallow network. But Munger knew that this kind of thinking is a trap. He discovered a single overarching principle that separates those who truly build wealth from those who stay stuck in a cycle of social exhaustion and mediocrity. It's a principle so powerful that once you understand it, you'll start to see the world of opportunity with a clarity you never had before. This video won't give you a list of new events to attend. It won't tell you to buy a new course on communication. It will give you something far more valuable. The single mental principle that the rich used to get richer and that the poor used to get poorer. It's a truth so simple, it's almost invisible. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. If you're here to learn how to think differently and avoid the mistakes that most people make, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video. And be sure to smash the like button to let us know you're on this journey with us. 1. The principle of radical humility. Let's be real for a second. We all think we know a thing or two, right? We get an idea in our heads, and our brain's first job is to prove we're right. Munger saw that as a huge, flashing red sign of disaster. His secret weapon for reading thousands of books and actually getting smarter wasn't some speed reading trick. It was pure, simple intellectual humility. He had this brutal habit of looking for information that disagreed with him. He wasn't trying to be right. He was trying not to be wrong. And if you're not doing that, you're not learning, you're just confirming what you already believe. It's the number one reason why most people stay stuck. This humility allowed him to not need social validation from a large, shallow network. He was so secure in his own knowledge that he didn't need a crowd to validate his worth. That is the first step toward becoming a magnet for success.
So you talk about your circle of competence and you should stick to it and try to expand it.
Oh yeah, well, it's a hugely important thing. Knowing the edge of your, it's hardly a competence if you don't know the edge of it. You know, if you have a misapprehension regarding your own competency, that means you lack competency. You're going to make terrible mistakes. So hardly anything is. I think you got to constantly measure what you achieve against what other people have achievement, and you have to keep being determinedly rational and avoiding a lot of self-delusion. But after a lifetime of observing it, I think the tendency to be pretty rational about one's own competency is largely genetic. I think people like Warren and I were just born this way. Now, it took a lot of education.
Part 1. The networking trap. Most people believe that success is about collecting connections. We have this psychological belief that the more people we know, the more opportunities will come our way. This is the networking trap. Our brains are wired for social validation. It's a remnant of our evolutionary past, where being part of a large tribe meant safety and survival. But in the modern world, this instinct has been hijacked by a relentless pressure to be seen and to be popular. We've been programmed to believe that a large contact list is a sign of wisdom and success. The networking trap is a psychological one. It's the instant gratification of a new connection, the temporary high of feeling important, and it's a trap Munger and Buffett avoided at all costs. Munger often spoke about people who try to get ahead by becoming a social butterfly. They are trapped in a cycle of trading their time and energy for fleeting social encounters, all because they mistake superficial connections for real value. They are running faster and faster, but they are staying in the same place. Munger knew this was the road to ruin, and he refused to walk down it. He understood that this is a game you can't win, and the only way to succeed is to not play at all. Let's dive into the psychology of this. Munger would call this phenomenon social proof bias or liking tendency. It's a concept from psychology that says humans have a natural tendency to be influenced by what others do and what they like. In the context of finance, this means that the thrill of a new trend is fleeting. You get a temporary spike in confidence because everyone else is doing it, but within a few weeks or months, the trend wears off, and you're left with the same level of financial stress you had before. Except now, you have less money and more mental clutter. The person on the imitation treadmill is constantly chasing this temporary high, believing that the next handshake will be the one that finally makes them rich. But Munger's genius was realizing that the only way to win this game is to get off the treadmill completely. He understood that true, lasting wealth comes from an internal sense of purpose and from the freedom that comes with intellectual independence, not from the fleeting joy of a new connection. I know what you're thinking. This stuff is great, but I want to dive deeper. Well, for those of you who want the complete guide to Munger's wisdom in one place, you've got to check out the book Poor Charlie's Almanac. It's the ultimate resource on his mental models. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing and liking it. It helps us bring more of Munger's wisdom to you. 2. The 2 psychological forces that destroy networks. This desire to network is more than a simple strategy. It's a powerful psychological trap driven by 2 of Munger's most critical mental models. The first is liking tendency. We have an innate need to be liked and to like others. This bias causes us to say yes to invitations we don't need, spend time with people who don't add value, and make decisions to impress others. The second is social proof bias. We look to the behavior of others to determine what is correct. If everyone is at a networking event, we assume that's where we should be too, even if it's a massive waste of time. Munger understood that these biases create a constant, low-level drain on your energy and focus. The networking world is a master of exploiting these tendencies, making you feel productive while you're actually spinning your wheels. Munger's solution wasn't to fight these biases head-on, but to simply step away from the arena where they operate. He chose to work in a different, more powerful game. Part 2. The Munger Principle: Be a magnet for success. The one principle that separates the wise from the foolish is to become a magnet for success. It's a counterintuitive idea. Most people ask, who do I need to meet to get ahead? Munger would ask, what kind of person do I need to become so that the right people want to meet me? This is a subtle but earth-shattering shift in thinking. The wise understand that true success is not about chasing opportunities, but about attracting them. They don't have a head full of social contacts. They have a reputation for competence. They practice the principle of relentless competence. This principle is a form of self-discipline, a rejection of instant gratification. It's the ability to say no to a small, immediate social encounter in order to gain a massive, long-term reputation. This principle allows them to take the time they would have spent on shallow connections and invest it in a deeper understanding that generates more value. This is the difference between working for your network and having your network work for you. Munger and Buffett are famous for being notoriously reclusive. They didn't attend conferences or glad hand. They were so good at what they did that people flew to Omaha just to talk to them. They were masters of the principle of relentless competence. They didn't feel the need to broadcast their value. They let their results do the talking. This principle isn't just theory. It's a practice Munger and Buffett lived. Think about their early careers. They weren't born into powerful social circles. They built their reputations on hard work and an insatiable intellectual curiosity. They didn't try to get into the right clubs. They became the people whose club everyone wanted to join. Their success wasn't built on a series of rapid-fire social encounters. It was built on the discipline of deep work, on having the wisdom to say, the best thing we can do today is master our craft. This is an idea that goes against everything the modern world teaches us. The world tells us to act now, to strike while the iron is hot. Munger and Buffett prove that sometimes the most powerful action is no action at all. This is where we must talk about what Munger called liking tendency. It's one of his most powerful mental models. Munger believed that human behavior is driven by our desire to be liked, and that this desire can often cloud our judgment. The modern world is a master of creating incentives for you to spend your time being liked. Social media platforms offer likes and followers. Networking events use emotional triggers to make you feel like you're building a community. These are all incentives designed to get you to abandon the principle of relentless competence. Munger's genius was in recognizing this. He created a system that fought against this bias. He incentivized himself for the long term. His incentive was not a new friend, but the satisfaction of seeing a business grow tenfold over a decade. His reward was not a social invitation, but the freedom that came from a large cash reserve. He turned the conventional incentive structure on its head. Instead of chasing a small, immediate reward, he focused on avoiding the long-term pain of wasted time and superficiality. This is the ultimate application of the principle of relentless competence. It's not just about saying no. It's about understanding the psychological forces that are trying to trick you into saying yes. 3. The true cost of networking. Munger was a master of understanding opportunity cost. Most people think of networking as a free or low-cost activity, but Munger knew that it's one of the most expensive things you can do. The real cost isn't the price of a conference ticket or a lunch. It's the time you're not spending doing deep work, learning a new skill, or thinking deeply about a problem. That hour you spent at a cocktail party could have been an hour you spent reading a book, which would have given you a far higher return on your investment. Munger's entire career was a masterclass in this kind of thinking. He understood that the best path to success is to protect your time and your intellectual energy. He was paid not just for his good ideas, but for his ability to consistently avoid bad ones. By saying no to 1,000 distractions, he was able to say a powerful yes to a handful of truly life-changing opportunities. Part 3. The Munger Checklist for Becoming Worth Knowing. So, how do you apply the principle of relentless competence in your own life? It's not about being a hermit. It's about being strategic. Here is a simple checklist to guide your decisions. Checklist item 1. Focus on deep work. The most valuable skill in the modern economy is the ability to do focused, uninterrupted work on a single task. Munger spent his life reading and thinking, not attending conferences. Before you agree to a meeting or a social outing, ask yourself, is this the most valuable use of my time? Or could I be doing deep work that builds my competence? Checklist item 2. Build your lattice work. Munger famously said, "You are not going to get rich by just knowing one thing." He understood that the best minds are multidisciplinary. Before you get lost in the noise of social media, ask yourself, what book can I read? Or what topic can I learn about from a different field that will strengthen my understanding of the world? Checklist item 3. Cultivate your reputation. The best networking is not networking at all. It's being so good at what you do that your reputation precedes you. Before you try to get noticed, ask yourself, am I doing work that is so valuable, so unique, and so competent that it will speak for itself? Munger knew that if you are a walking example of excellence, people will find you. Checklist item 4. Study your own mistakes. We often get trapped by our own ego. Munger was a master of studying history. He looked at the mistakes of past investors, past companies, and past empires to avoid making the same blunders. Before you make a decision, ask yourself, what is the history of this situation? What have others done that failed? By learning from the failures of others, you can avoid a lifetime of mistakes. This brings us to a new rule, a 5th item for your checklist. Checklist item 5. The opportunity cost of your time. Your most valuable asset is your time. Munger was a master of this. He said he was paid for what he didn't do. He avoided meetings, unnecessary work, and distractions that would take him away from the few high-leverage activities that truly mattered. Most people fill their lives with noise because they are afraid of the silence. But Munger knew that it's in the silence, in the space you create by saying no to distractions, that you find the opportunity to make your most valuable moves. Checklist item 6. The magnet rule. Before you try to get ahead, don't ask, who do I need to meet? Instead, ask, what do I need to do to become so valuable that people will seek me out? This is the ultimate mental model. It forces you to remove your emotions from the equation and think with a rational, long-term perspective. It's a shortcut to wisdom and a powerful tool for avoiding the common pitfalls of your own biases. This leads us to a final, crucial point. Munger believed that relentless competence is a strategic advantage. In a world obsessed with instant results and the hustle culture, a person who consistently builds their value has an unfair advantage. The average person is constantly trying to make connections, to get noticed, to get rich quickly. This short-term thinking leads to impulsive decisions, high FEs, and ultimately, poor returns. Munger and Buffett, on the other hand, made a handful of great decisions over their entire careers. Their success wasn't due to a large social network. It was due to a few well-thought-out moves and the incredible discipline of focusing on their craft. They were masters of becoming worth knowing. They understood that in life, as in investing, the race is not always to the swift, but to the wise and the patient. This kind of patience requires a total rejection of the networking trap and a complete embrace of the principle of relentless competence. This is the single most powerful principle you can adopt. It's not about working harder. It's about thinking smarter. It's about using the principle of relentless competence to build a reputation that works for you, not against you. Don't let yourself be a victim of the networking lie anymore. Don't just work hard, work with purpose. And the first step is to learn to think differently. And that's a wrap on another chapter of Munger's genius. We hope this video has helped you see the power of thinking differently. If you want to continue on this journey of wisdom and wealth building, make sure you're subscribed and have hit that like button to support the channel. And for those who are ready to take the next step, you can find the link to Poor Charlie's Almanac in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.